into the era of AI. Hello there, welcome. In this lecture, I'm going to introduce you to MidJourney. MidJourney is not a free software, but I feel that I need to introduce you to it just in case some of you already have the membership or maybe are thinking of investing in this magnificent software that is capable of doing a lot of things. So if I go, for example, to Google, and if I were to search for MidJourney, I will find the link to MidJourney, which I can just simply click on from here. Now, once you go to MidJourney, there are multiple ways of how you can use MidJourney. You can use the MidJourney app on the browser or go to the beta, join the beta and go to Discord, which is what I'm about to do right now. I'm going to join the beta right here because that enables me to chat with MidJourney directly using the chat bot inside of the Discord. And quite frankly, I like this more than the MidJourney app. So once I do that, it opens up Discord on my computer directly because I have Discord on my computer. But normally for you, you're going to still be on the browser if you don't have Discord on your computer. If you don't have Discord on your computer, go ahead and install it like this. Look for Discord and basically just install Discord on your computer. Once that's done, you will be able to chat to MidJourney via these newbies rooms from here, and you will be able to enter your prompts and generate images via MidJourney by simply using prompts. These are not images that I have generated personally. These are images that people are generating at the moment. So you can see that people are generating images for all kinds of reasons, and each one of them is basically generating these images for a reason. And they're generating these images using the MidJourney bot. Now, the MidJourney bot is also here, and you can click on it anytime, and you can basically invite it by adding it on another chat or adding it to the new chat. And in my case, I actually already have direct messages access to the MidJourney bot. But if you want to add it, it's just right here. You can just add it. And by the way, if you stay here in the Discord, these newcomer rooms, there's a lot of people using MidJourney at the same time. So basically, the problem with this is that so many people will also be waiting for their images to render, and that could create a problem for you. Now, if I go to direct messages, and if I click here on MidJourney bot, I can be able to chat to MidJourney directly. And I can be able to use MidJourney for the most part to do a lot of things. So for example, here, there are a couple of designs that I designed previously, which are loading right now. So you can see this one is what Budweiser would look like in 2030, I think. So these are really some interesting designs that I've created. Have a look at these kinds of designs. Now, even Coca-Cola, Pepsi, and so on and so forth. So it can really do incredible stuff. Let's not limit its creativity to just these designs because it really can do a lot of stuff. Now, coming to the important point, how do you use this? First of all, you have settings. So if you click on /settings right here, you can enter and you have access to a lot of settings. So these settings are very simple. We have version 6, version 6 alpha, version 5.2, version 5.1. I would highly recommend you stay away from version 1, 2, 3, and 4. These ones are not so great. The Niji models from version 4, 5, and 6 and are also great. And MidJourney versions from 5 and above to 6 are the best. Niji model, for example, if I click Niji model, now I'm using the Niji model. And the Niji model can enable you to generate anime-like images. And I'm going to show you. But here, for a second, you see I'm using stylized medium. I'm actually going to use stylized very high instead. And here, you can enable people to see your images by enabling public mode. If you disable it, then people are not going to be able to see your public mode, but you have to have a membership that allows you to use that plan. Now I'm running on fast mode, which means that it's regular. It's not super speed, but if you're running on turbo mode, you have to be careful because that's going to consume your credits. And MidJourney is basically based on credits, and you always have to keep an eye on your credits to ensure that you're not actually using all of your credits. If I click /info here, it will show me how many images I've generated. So in total from MidJourney, I generated 1,809 images using this account. And basically, I have used 452. I've used a lot of minutes, But here you can see how many minutes are remaining for you in this particular plan right here. If you want to generate images, you can use the slash imagine, and you can type in whatever it is that you want to generate. So let's say you want to generate an image of, I don't know, maybe hero pirate, for example. If you just type enter, it's going to get started generating the image. Of course, you can also control the size of your design. We're going to come to that later when we were creating designs. But here I'm generating a hero pirate using Niji model number 6 and with an S750 stylize, which is one of the highest. And basically, I'm waiting for it right now. It's 32%. And it's going to be a square design because when you don't indicate the size, MidJourney is going to automatically generate your design in a specific size. So it's going to generate it in a size that it likes. And if I use the same prompt, first of all, let me change the settings. And if I change the settings, and if I go, for instance, and use MidJourney version 6 alpha, right now, if I click slash imagine, and if I imagine a hero pirate again, I can copy this prompt and paste it here. Hero pirate. I can also choose the size. So I can add a comma, 2 hyphens, and AR. And basically, I can add a 16 by 9 inches. And if I hit enter, right now, you can see that it's going to go ahead and it's going to generate a design of a hero pirate with an AR of 16 by 9 inches, which is landscape size. And here are the images using Niji model. This looks reminiscent more of One Piece, and that's because we were using the Niji model. And the Niji model is specialized in generating images in anime style. Now, whenever you want to upscale an image, meaning make it bigger, you can just click on that image and upscale it, in which case it's going to generate the bigger version of that particular image for you. And so you can just go ahead and click on that image and you can save the image to your computer, right? So this is a pirate. And you can also create variations. So if you're interested to vary this image, make more variations about it, this is the remix prompt, which allows me to add more. So I can actually say Roger pirate instead from One Piece, and I can just click submit right like that. And it's right now going to remix. It's going to create a remix between this image and Roger from One Piece. And if you liked any other image, you can go ahead and upscale that image, which means make it bigger, or you can create variations of it if you're interested to create more variations of that same image. So for example, if I click variations number 4, I'm not going to add anything to the remix. I'm just going to submit. It's going to generate a variation of this particular image, which I like. So it's going to generate 4 images based on that image as the seed, as the parent image. If I scroll down enough, you can see these are using MidJourney version 6. You can see MidJourney version 6 is much more realistic, and the pirate came out to be a bit more realistic. And we can make it even more realistic by using a prompt in which we indicate that we want the image to be realistic. Obviously, this is not a MidJourney course. We have another MidJourney course on Allison. But generally speaking, you can indicate even the type of camera used to generate that particular image, if you're interested. Now here I added Roger Pirate, and these pictures, some of them even came out like Shanks and Zoro, and it didn't really come out like Roger 100%, but it really is amazing. For instance, we have this one reminds me of Shanks. This one reminds me of Zoro. This one reminds me also of Zoro. This one I don't really know. And here, these are the variations of that other image, as you can see them right here. And you can also do interesting stuff, such as imagining Roger Pirate, Roger, the king of the pirates from One Piece, 2 commas, AR, 16 by 9 inches, and you can hit enter, in which case we're going to generate Roger, and I can also switch the settings to Niji mode, like this. I can go and switch the settings here from MidJourney 6 to Niji model 6, and I can also use the same prompt here, Roger, the king of the pirates from One Piece, AR 16 by 9 inches, and I can place it right here and hit the enter button. And right now it's going to go ahead and proceed on to generate Roger in both models. In the in the version 6 model as well as in the Niji model. Now you can see in the version 6 model, it tries to generate realistic images as well. Because Roger is a pirate, is an anime, so it tried to keep the anime allure to it. But if I used a different prompt, it would have been a bit different. And here, the Niji mode is going to make it much better because Niji mode is made specifically to generate anime images. All right, so if you're interested. Now notice here that we have some interesting images. They don't really look like Roger from One Piece. This one is the one that looks the most like Roger, but you can see clearly that this looks incredible. So there's a ship in the back. There is, this is this is Roger, not Shanks, but they made him look like Shanks, and it really looks amazing. Now there's another feature, which is the describe feature. You can use it to describe a particular image. So you can just click image, and you can upload an image from your computer that you might have. So for instance, I can go to Google and I can actually search for a specific image of a dragon so that we can wrap up with this introduction to MidJourney. So if I go and look for dragon picture Pixabay, let's say that I want to describe a picture of a dragon using Pixabay. So here we have a bunch of dragon pictures. Let me scroll down to find something that I kind of like. So we have a lot of dragons. This one obviously is the best one. So I'm going to click on this golden dragon. And if I were to download this particular dragon right here, this is also called reverse engineering. So you can take an image and describe it and turn it into a prompt. So now all I got to do is I got to upload this particular image of the dragon, like so. And as you can see, the image is uploaded, and I can hit the send button, in which case it's going to describe this particular image for us. And as you can see, the image is being described right now. And it gives us 4 descriptions. You can choose either one of these descriptions, or copy the description, paste it, and add modifications to it, or imagine all of them. Now I'm using the Niji mode, so I can switch anytime by using /settings, enter, and I can switch to, instead of Niji mode, I can switch to MidJourney Alpha, and I can click imagine all, in which case right now it's going to have 4 jobs. So it's going to generate 4 different quadrants of images, because MidJourney generates 4 images at a time. So it always generates 4 images at a time. It doesn't generate just one image. It generates multiple images at a time, which is really useful for us. So here it is working on it, and we're just going to have to wait to get the results. All right, so based on that description, here's how it turned out to be. So here's the first variations. You can see that the dragon looks incredible, and that's just based on a description of an image that we got from Pixabay, which quite frankly, we generated images much better than them right now. And here we have other variations as well. Notice that they're looking quite fabulous, and we can keep going on and on and on, right? So if I scroll down, here's another variation of images. These ones, they also look pretty fantastic. They're looking like statues, especially this one looks like a pretty good statue, and this one right here. And then if I scroll down, here is another variation. This one is more dinosaurish, and you can see that we have some incredible dragon picture over there. So hopefully you've enjoyed this video about MidJourney. The next one is going to be an introduction to Leonardo AI, which is also a software that can enable us to create designs for print on demand. And then we'll be on our way to the next video in which we're going to explain to you, or in which we're going to get started generating some designs. Stay tuned. Wishing you the best as always. Passive Income Gen Z signing out.